1026 kiddos. It's Miss Hillary here, and I'm going to be reading a new book to y'all, The One and Only Ivan. But I'm going to take this off first. I came in a room where there is nobody. When I'm at school, you'll see me with a shield and with a mask. But when I'm in a room all by myself, I can take this off. I do that so in case I have to cough, I don't cough on anybody. It covers my cough. Or if I have to sneeze, I have a mask on. But I can take it off now because I'm in here by myself. And this is the new book we're going to read this starting this week. It's going to take us more than a week. It's a big book. No more storybooks. Those storybooks were for fun and to show how we get on the internet and find the stories that I'm going to read. But now we're starting to read a novel, and we're going to read The One and Only Ivan. It's one of my favorite books. It's also one of Miss Noted's favorite books. It's a good story, and the person telling the story is actually not a person. It's actually him. It's a gorilla. It's Ivan. And it's a whole story about Ivan, and he's telling you the story. And I'm going to go over some words that you're going to hear him say. This is called a glossary. This has words, and it tells you what those words mean, because these are words that are going to come up in the story. Now remember, Ivan's a gorilla. This is one of the things that gorillas do. One of the words Ivan wants you to know about is chest beat. Have you ever been to a zoo and you see the gorillas beating their chest? That's called a chest beat. That's the repeated slapping of the chest with one or both hands in order to generate a loud sound, sometimes used by gorillas as a threat to display or intimidate an opponent. Another word you're going to hear him say is domain. He talks about his domain a lot. That's just where he lives. That's just his territory. And you're going to find out he doesn't live in a zoo. He lives in a very unusual place for a gorilla. He doesn't live in the jungles either. Grunt. Snorting pig-like noise made by gorilla parents to express annoyance. I get annoyed with my own children sometimes, but I don't grunt at them. A meatball. When you hear meatball, it sounds like meatball, but he's not talking about meatballs. It's when he makes poop and it's dried up and he throws it at people, because sometimes he gets kind of angry. That's his way of throwing his meatball at other people. And then he talks about 9,855 days. He talks about days a lot. See, while gorillas are in the wild, they judge time passing by seasons, like, oh, it's summer and it's warm, and it's winter and it's cooler, or by what foods are available. But Ivan doesn't live in the jungle, so he keeps track of how many days he's been there. Another word is knot tag. He talks about knot tag. That's just his name that he has a stuffed animal. Do y'all have a favorite stuffed animal at home? We do too. And knot tag is just his favorite stuffed animal, and it's just it's a stuffed toy gorilla. But his name for his stuffed animal is knot tag. And silverback. Also, they would call him gray boss, but usually silverback. That's an adult male over 12 years old with an area of silver hair in his back. When gorillas get old, they turn gray just like us. I'm a silverback teacher. Well, Ivan is a silverback gorilla. His hair is gray in the back, and that means that he's a figure of authority, and he's responsible for protecting his family. He calls some people slimy chimps. And he's not talking about chimpanzees. He's talking about humans. So he thinks humans look just like chimps, but they're slimy because we don't have hair. And he talks about vining, and that's casual play. That's when he talks about vining, like we see like cartoons or gorillas in the wild, and they'll swing from vines. That's what he talks about. When he talks about playing, he talks about vining. So those are just some good words to learn. And now we're going to read the story about Ivan. Now remember, Ivan is the one telling the story, okay? It's not a human author. It's really Ivan. Ivan's the one that's telling the story, okay? The first chapter. Hello, I am Ivan. I am a gorilla. It's not as easy as it looks. There's Ivan eating a banana. Names. People call me Freeway Gorilla, the ape at Exit 8, the one and only Ivan, Mighty Silverback. The names are mine, but they're not me. I am Ivan, just Ivan, only Ivan. Humans waste words. They toss them like banana peels and leave them to rot. Everyone knows the peels are the best part. I suppose you think gorillas can't understand you. Of course, you also probably think they can't walk upright. Try knuckle walking for an hour. You tell me which way is more fun. So he's saying he even likes walking like us. He doesn't like walking on his knuckles. That'd be hard, huh? Patience. I've learned to understand human words over the years, but understanding human speech is not the same as understanding humans. Humans speak too much. They chatter like chimps, crowding the world with their noise, even when they have nothing to say. It took me some time to recognize all those human sounds, to weave words into things, but I was patient. Patient is a useful way to be when you're an ape. Gorillas are as patient as stones. Humans, not so much. How I look. I used to be a wild gorilla, and I still look the part. I have a gorilla's shy gaze, a gorilla's sly smile. I wear a snowy saddle of fur, the uniform of a silverback. When the sun warms my back, I cast a gorilla's majestic shadow. In my size, humans see a test of themselves. They hear fighting words on the wind, when all I'm thinking is how the late day sun reminds me of a ripe nectarine. I'm mightier than a human, 400 pounds of pure power. My body looks made for battle. My arms outstretched span taller than the tallest human. My family tree spreads wide as well. I am a great ape, and you are a great ape, and so are chimpanzees and orangutans and bonobos, all of us distant and distrustful cousins. I know this is troubling. I too find it hard to believe there is a connection across time and space linking me to a race of ill-mannered clowns. Chimps. There's no excuse for them. Does he like chimps? No. He thinks they're clowns. The Exit 8 Big Top Mall and Video Arcade. I live in a human habitat called Exit 8 Big Top Mall and Video Arcade. We are conveniently located off I-95 with shows at 2, 4, and 7, 365 days a year. Mac says that when he answers the trilling telephone. Mac works here at the mall. He is the boss. I work here too. I'm the gorilla. At the Big Top Mall, a creaky music carousel spins all day, and monkeys and parrots live amid the merchants. In the middle of the mall is a ring with benches where humans can sit on their rumps while they eat soft pretzels. The floor is covered with sawdust made of dead trees. My domain, remember we said domain just means it's kind of like his cage, it's kind of where he lives. My domain is at one end of the ring. I live here because I am too much gorilla and not enough human. Stella's domain is next to mine. Stella is an elephant. She and Bob, who is a dog, are my dearest friends. At present, I do not have any gorilla friends. My domain is made of thick glass and rusty metal and rough cement. Stella's domain is made of metal boars. The sun bear's domain is wood. The parrot's is wire and mesh. 3 of my walls are glass. One of them is cracked, and a small piece about the size of my hand is missing from its bottom corner. I made the hole with a baseball Mac gave me for my 6th birthday. After that, he took the bat away, but he let me keep the baseball that came with it. A jungle scene is painted on one of my domain walls. It has a waterfall without water, and flowers without scent, and trees without roots. I didn't paint it, but I enjoy the way the shapes flow across my wall, even if it isn't much of a jungle. I am lucky my domain has 3 windowed walls. I can see the whole mall and a bit of the world beyond. The frantic pinball machines, the pink billows of cotton candy, the vast and treeless parking lot. Beyond the lot is a freeway where cars stampede without end. A giant sign at its edge beckons them to stop and rest like gazelles at a watering hole. The sign is faded, the color's bleeding, but I know what it says. Mac read its words aloud one day. Come to the exit at Exit 8 Big Top Mall and Video Arcade, home of the one and only Ivan, Mighty Silverback. That's the sign he's talking about. Sadly, I cannot read, although I wish I could. Reading stories would make a fine way to fill my empty hours. Once, however, I was able to enjoy a book left in my domain by one of my keepers. It tasted like termite. The freeway billboard was a drawing of Mac in his clown clothes and Stella on her hind legs and an angry animal with fierce eyes and unkempt hair. That animal is supposed to be me, but the artist made a mistake. I am never angry. Look at the picture of Ivan. See his mouth? He's going, that looks like an angry gorilla. But is Ivan angry? No. He just thinks the artist made a mistake. Anger is precious. A silverback uses anger to maintain order and warn his troop of danger. When my father beat his chest, it was to say, beware, listen, I am in charge. I am angry to protect you because that is what I was born to do. But here in my domain, there's no one to protect. So does he ever get angry? No. Okay, so that's where we're going to stop today for the one and only Ivan. And we're going to read some more tomorrow, so come back to the classroom and look on the bookshelf to see some more chapters of this, okay? Bye, guys.